In the name of my ancestors, peace forever and always, welcome to another edition of the Realities Temple on Earth. I am the Angel Snutting Up 7 here on YouTube. Your brother and hopefully your friend, Taalik Ibn'rad. I even had to jot down some notes for this subject, so please bear with me. I have a lot to cover in 10 minutes. I want to say before I get started that I was listening to part of a lecture, about 7 minutes worth of a lecture given by our brother Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and he was trying to explain of how Islam is an African religion. So I have some questions for Dr. Muhammad, because the video that I was watching did not permit video responses, so I have to make a little video myself. And I think the title, I might name it something to bring attention to the video, but what I'm bringing has nothing personal. I have nothing personal against Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I don't know him, so this is nothing personal. This is just asking questions, inquiry about what he is teaching our people. So we have the right to question. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad even taught us we have the right to question. We was taught to question Caucasian people. We should also have the right to question ourselves in anything that is brought before us. So let me try to cover this real quick. In his lecture, Brother Muhammad was saying that Prophet Muhammad, the one who inspired this book, Quran, he said that the Prophet had a dream, and in the dream, the Prophet saw black and white sheep, and the white sheep was taking over the black sheep. And he translated the dream of the sheep, meaning that these white or Caucasian Europeans would take over Islam and move his original followers, who were black or Africans, move them out the way and take over their identity. There may be some truth to that, but I have a question. If the white man is let me put that this differently. If the black man is the original man, and he is the original author, or the black man is Islam, how did they become a follower of Prophet Muhammad? You would think that Prophet Muhammad came up out of them, but he's saying here that these people were once followers of Prophet Muhammad. So how could they be the authors of Islam if in order for them to be Muslims they had to be first followers of Prophet Muhammad, who was a Caucasian person? That in itself, do y'all understand where I'm coming from with this? That in itself don't make sense to me. He goes on to say that Arabic or Arab means black, and he used the word al or Arab equals dark people. Arab means dark people. My question that arises here is, why do black people during this period of time, if you're the author of Islam, and Islam is the natural religion of us, it's our nature, why would we care about black? Why would we care about color until the appearance? The only one that gave a care about color is Caucasian people. Why would we care about color? Everybody that we knew of was black, dark. Black folks didn't trip off color. The only one who began to trip off color was Caucasian people. So Al-Arab, that to me would have to be a name come up by Caucasian people, or somebody who was tripping off color of people or race. Why would we chip off the dark people? All of us was dark. That's all that we knew. That's a question. Prophet Muhammad should have came out of the black. If we are the original, if we are the African Muslims, we are the original people, we was first. Prophet Muhammad came after us. That don't make sense to me. There is no proof. I work with students who are taking history. So I'm not going by what I'm talking about, my own research, but I've asked students who are in school right now, are they taught about Prophet Muhammad in history class? They said no. Prophet Muhammad is somebody taught in religion. We don't even know. You prove to me Prophet Muhammad even exists. Did he ever exist to begin with? So yes, there is a taking of identity. The sheep, yeah, the white sheep did take the identity of the black. Maybe that was the purpose of creating this person called Prophet Muhammad, and y'all read this book. Not by, that was revealed by Allah, to black people, but it was given to Caucasian people. So if this book was given to Caucasian people or white Arabs, what do you need it for? Not to say that there's no wisdom in here or intelligence, but if you don't read it, what do you really need it for? Let us talk about Nation of Islam teachings real quick. Master Farad Muhammad, of whom you call God, he was once a follower of Noble Drew Ali. You don't like to hear that, but he was. He was also, and I was taught when I was in the nation, he was also influenced by the Jehovah's Witnesses. These white guys that created the Jehovah's Witnesses. If this is God, why do God have to follow Noble Drew Ali? Why do this God have to be influenced? And if you look at Nation of Islam teachings, you will see the Jehovah's Witness influence. You will see the influence of Noble Drew Ali as well as Orthodox Islam influence. You'll see all that. But if this is God, God creates something out of nothing. But this did not come out of, this was not created out of nothing. You see the influences. And Sarah Sudan Seti, my brother, when he came to St. Louis, showed where these things come from. Even the flag, it's the Turkish flag turned backwards. It all came from somewhere that already existed. God don't need something that already existed. He creates something out of nothing. You say that the original Muslims was black. When did you meet them? Were you taught by them? No. You are following Islam as taught by Elijah Muhammad, that was taught by a God that was influenced by Noble Drew Ali and the Jehovah's Witnesses, and your God and wisdom comes from out of this book by a white prophet. Your God is a mulatto. He's half Caucasian, half black. Why is that? But you are supposed to uplift blackness, but your God is half Caucasian. His mother was a Caucasian. And your prophet was not black either. Prophet Muhammad was a Caucasian, correct? There's a lot of questions here that need to be answered. If Islam is the nature of the black man, then why do you have to go around the Kaaba? Why do you have to pray 7 times a day if that's your nature? Why you have to be so hard on yourself if that's your nature? And you've been doing it since 1930. That ritual, that's designed for those who don't have the nature of peace in their heart. To bring them back, doing those rituals in order to show them or bring them back and place them on the correct path to righteousness. Something that is supposed to be your nature, but you do it. What has happened to you? Why do you have to go through it? Why do you care about walking around the Kaaba and praying 15 times a day and all like that if that's your nature? You have not progressed, you have not evolved since 1930? You still need rituals to help you out? And if Islam is peace, then you show me evidence at any time in history, not your imagination, what you think. You show me with evidence any time in history of man, black people, any time that we had any kind of peace. And above all, when you practice Islam, you are asked to believe. And if everything that you're saying is so great, you got so much confidence, then why you don't know? Why you got to believe in it? Why you don't know? If you know, you don't have to believe. Y'all, let the religion slide. Let it go. It's keeping us divided. Debating day in and out. We got greater work to do. Come, bring it to me, Brother Wesley. Bring it.
Get your money, man, get your bread up. Gotta do for yourself, know you fed up. Get your study on, all praise be to God. Stay read up, God never let up. Everyone that I'm around already know what I'm about. Build heaven on earth, gotta catch up Elijah, Muhammad Ali, Farrakhan, Malcolm X. Now man, what about me?
Pastor Gino Jennings.
Pastor Jennings, yes. Stop running from me, Gino.
Right, yeah, I read that in your book, and you know how we say that God was, he created himself from triple darkness. Well, in Isaiah 45:7, it says, I formed the light and create darkness. So his criticism was, how can he form himself from darkness if he created darkness? So can you respond to that?
Yeah, because black words matter. The Hebrew formed darkness does not mean created darkness ex nihilo. It means shape a pre-existing reality into a new form. That's what formed darkness means, and that is precisely the process that occurred in the womb of the universe. This pre-existent matter was reshaped by God, by God's divine mind, reshaped into a new form. The new form that this darkness took, when God says in Isaiah, I formed darkness, the new form that this pre-existing darkness took was the form of the black man's body. So Pastor Gino Jennings is absolutely wrong in his interpretation of Isaiah, because he's totally dependent, to the extent that he's a slave of King James's English translation. The original Hebrew makes it very clear that God did not, and it doesn't say, he did not create darkness. He formed darkness. He formed a pre-existent material into a new form. That new form being the black body that God will now and forever inhabit.
What about me?
The Holy Quran teaches us that she is to be respected as we wish to be respected. See, this divine hierarchy don't say nothing about differences in respect. The respect that we as men want from our women, we need to give that same respect to our women. He says, the only thing that is different between the man and the woman is that we are a little higher than her. In what way, Mr. Muhammad? Is the man a little higher than the woman? In the power of our creation. See, that power differential is what determines one's place in the hierarchy, divine hierarchy. He says, we have more powerful brains than she because we were made to rule. See, a God is a ruler, because that's an exercise in power, and God is a being of force and power That's the definition of godhood. We looking everywhere but the right place to understand the nature of God. And so this is why, as we have been talking, the biochemistry lets the world know who the supreme God on this earth is. The black man has the highest level of serotonin, brain neurotransmitter serotonin, and the highest level of testosterone. And why this is important is because testosterone and serotonin are the biochemical sources of the drive for power. And remember, God is a being of power and force. Man is endowed with the testosterone, the higher testosterone and the higher serotonin, because the man is born to rule, to exercise power. That's the quintessence of manhood. Rulership and the exercise of power. That's the quintessence of manhood. It's not the definition of womanhood. It's the definition of manhood. It's the definition of God.
I was just watching a commentary, a video here on YouTube. It featured our brother in the Nation of Islam, Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and he was being asked a question about or explaining of how the woman is a helpmate to man. Now, I'm very sure that many of you believe that. I say believe because it's not factual. And it's not factual because I have some points I would like to bring up. Now, you can believe whatever you want to. However, there are some questions that need to be answered in this type of mindset. I'm very sure there are many women, there are many soul sisters out there, y'all believe that you are a helpmate to the man. Okay, well, now, Dr. Wesley Muhammad could be right. This is not his teaching. He is talking about and trying to support and verify that what somebody else said is correct. Dr. Wesley Muhammad did not come to this conclusion in no kind of manner. He is a believer in another man's words. So let's examine this very quickly and let's just see how valid and credible, or some of y'all say this is facts, how factual this really is. Of course, under the Nation of Islam teachings, if many of you do not know, it is taught, and many of you believe, that the black man is God. Okay, let's start. I want to start there. I want to present some questions for us right from the very beginning. The black man is God, and this God, this black man, the original man, this Asiatic black man, was created in triple darkness. Now, triple darkness must be very, 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 very dark. We know what darkness is, but we're talking about triple darkness. So that's very, very, very black, deep, dark. There's no room for color triple darkness. So my quest, Yeah, my question is, if the black man is the original man that created himself out of triple darkness, first of all, how can you create in darkness? How many of you ever tried to fix your car in the dark? Try to draw a picture in the dark. Even tried to eat a banana in the dark. It's very difficult to do anything in darkness, but somebody created a man. He created himself in triple darkness. You can't even see the material that you are using at all. You don't know what you're touching. You can't see at all. You can't even see what you're doing. And see, that does not make any sense. Now, we are born in our mother's womb. We are formed in our mother's womb. You could say in triple darkness. But our mother can see. She was able to see what she had done in order to get you started in her womb. Somebody has to be able to see to create something. Who do you know or what do you know can see in darkness? Maybe a bat, an earthworm, but they are not known to create something as sophisticated as a man. You understand where I'm coming from? Now, you are created from triple darkness. So if the black man is God and he created himself out of triple darkness, where does the brown gene come from? Where does the brown come from that you say that the red man came from, the yellow man, and of course the white man, and the brown man, of course, all these came from the original man, the black man. How is this possible? Where did the brown gene come from? In somebody who created himself out of triple darkness, there is no brown. There is no kind of light. Where are you going to get it from? Now, the original man, the black man is the original man. Some of you are very proud and the black man is the original man. Well, in nature is always trying to improve on the original. Matter of fact, you might not see, and I'm pretty sure, unless you are a shark or a turtle, most of these animals remain unchanged for thousands and thousands of years. But most creatures, especially mammals and some birds and fish, they change. Because nature is always trying to improve the species. Or the original changes in order to adapt to a new environment. The original started in heat. The original starts to move into a colder place on the planet. Then the original begins to adapt, begins to change. Otherwise, they go extinct. The original car, one of the original cars was the Model T. Y'all drive Bentleys and Hummers and Ferraris and all these other cars now. Would you want to drive a Model T? It's nice to collect, but you wouldn't want to drive a Model T. It could probably only go about 20 miles an hour at the max or whatever. You don't want that. So we keep talking about, oh, it's so great to be original. There's many advantages of being the original. I mean, the car still have four wheels. You had the engine. The basic components are there, but nobody wants to drive the original. Nature tries to improve or nature tries to adapt. One or the other. What category do you fit in? Have you improved? Have you adapted? Wesley Muhammad goes on to say that man was first. So I guess he's saying that man created woman. That don't make any sense. You know why that does not make any sense? First of all, we don't know. So it cannot be factual. That's just like saying that you actually know your mother is your mother and your father is your father. You really actually don't know. You was not there. You have to go by what they told you, somebody said. We don't know if man was first or the woman was first. We don't know. I'm not going to come before you and tell a lie and tell you for a fact that man was first or woman was first. But this is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you there's no way man can be first, because man cannot reproduce. He cannot bring forth life at all, period. However, the woman has the physical tools in order to reproduce. Well, I know what you're going to say. Well, the woman, she got to have a man in order to have a baby. Perhaps using your logic, this logic that we're using, coming from Wesley Muhammad, let us say, because we know a man cannot have a baby, a man cannot reproduce. But since the woman, she is fashioned in a way to bring forth life, maybe there was a time where the woman could self-pregnate herself. She had both vagina and penis. Maybe she was able to self-pregnate herself. Matter of fact, there are individuals that have been known in modern times to actually have a penis and a vagina. I forgot the word for that, but there are those. Now, as far as they getting themselves pregnant, I don't know. But we do know that cells reproduce by splitting themselves, but they produce a clone. There are certain animals that can impregnate themselves. But what happens is, when an animal pregnates or is able to reproduce itself, it reproduces a clone, an exact copy, an exact replica. This was not working. If any of us understand biology, this did not work. It was not working. So nature caused this male and female, this split, not only in mammals, insects, and plants. And the reason why we have male and female in plants and animals and most of the life on this planet is because when you separate the egg and you separate the sperm mechanism, it causes diversity. So when the male and the female with different DNA setup, when they meet one another, they set up diversity, which causes change. The change that is needed in order for a life form to adapt to another climate, a change in the environment on this planet. And that's what you see all over this planet. So many of the original creatures you don't see anymore because they have improved themselves or they have adapted to their environments. That's what you see. So the woman, if you're going to say that somebody was first, it's more logical to say that it was the woman, because she does have the physical capability to reproduce. Men cannot do that. Now, we want to get to the heart of the question, and we want to answer or bring a reply to Dr. Wesley Muhammad, and he says that the female is the helpmate to the male. Okay, we're gonna use a very simple example. I am baking a cake, and I invite some little children. We all gonna make cupcakes. So the little children come and we make the cupcakes or whatever. I am the instructor. I am the one doing most of the work. The little children are assisting me. Can you break some eggs? Can you stir that the batter? Can you put this in the oven? These are assistants. The one who is actually doing the work is not a helpmate. The one who is assisting, giving a tool or doing a little something now and then, that's an assistant. That is the mate. That is somebody who is helping somebody. When you look at this relationship between man and woman, based on the religious setup, we're going to use the religious setup. You have the male. He gets up and go to work. He works an 8-hour job on average. 8-hour job. Now back in the day, the male used to go out, work the 8-hour job or 10 hours, whatever he did, bring back the money, take care of the wife and the children. However, even in that relationship, that's nothing. The wife's job, the woman's job is never ending. She is washing his clothes, washing his dirty, nasty drawers, fixing his lunch so he can go to work, washing the clothes for all the family, all the duties. The sisters, y'all know what y'all do. Some of you know how to cook, so you are peeling potatoes, peeling carrots, snapping beans, cleaning the house, taking the children to their doctor's appointment, to the dentist, going to the school, see how they're doing. And now in modern times, the female does not only that, but the female also, y'all sisters, you work an 8-hour job, 10-hour job, just like your husband. So not only do you work an 8-hour job, but when you get home, you are expected to clean the house. You're supposed to do all the things that I just mentioned. You're supposed to do all those things. Now, you tell me that the male is the one, the woman is the helpmate, but who's doing all the work? Going to a job for 8 hours, that's nothing. Then you get to go home and she cook your meal for you, clean your nasty drawers and whatever, and she's supposed to take care of you. Now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm looking, and from this ministry, we're looking at an equal partnership. The male can wash dishes, he can wash clothes, he can do the laundry, he can do all the things in the house. Take the children to their dentist appointment, take the children to the basketball game or whatever. You putting all this burden on the woman, but she's the helpmate to the male. The one who is doing all the work is not no helper. They are the ones who are actually doing it. The male is happy to get the woman pregnant. The woman can't have no baby without the male. You are happy to get her pregnant. You are happy to mate with her. You love it. You are happy to do that. And the male does not even do a good job in regards to his own role that he claims. He's supposed to be a provider, does a very poor job in providing. The so-called black man in America, he depends on another man to give him a job. He does not protect the black woman. He does not protect his children. So when his children or when his child is going down the street and gets shot in the damn heart, carrying some tea and some Skittles, you just sit back and you make no you act like nothing even happened. Our children are murdered on the corners of America every day. The black man supposed to be a help to the woman. Why aren't you protecting her children? Since that's supposed to be your job. You're supposed to provide for her. What have you provided without the help of your slave master? Nothing. But she's the helpmate to you. No, the real word is you have conditioned her to be your slave. And I suggest to all you sisters, all you soul sisters, y'all need to stop, let all this old crap go, because it's nothing but slavery. I explain with logic the reality of how this really should go. If it goes down like that, you are the number one. He is your helper. He is your helpmate, not vice versa. Ah, man. Yes. I am angry. I'm upset, disappointed, frustrated, all those things. And I'll tell you why. Have you ever been angry and upset about something, but there's nothing that you can do about it? You are raising children, and your children are just not doing the right thing. But you done your job. You taught them the best you could. You sent them to the best schools. You done everything in your power, but your children will not do right to save their lives. And in a lot of cases, their mistakes cost them their life. And sometimes you blame yourself, but what can you do? There's nothing that you could do. These people are adults. They are grown. There's nothing that you can do. In fact, I could switch this around. There are people I'm probably could say the same thing about me. That Negro, I told him not to do this. I told him not to do that. And that's true. There is advice. There is suggestions that I wish in the past that I had taken that advice, and a situation may not have even happened that was very negative in my life. However, we live and we learn. But social media is cool, and just talking to a friend that you can trust is cool, because we cannot allow these frustrations, disappointments, this stress to build up in ourselves. As you know, high blood pressure is one of the main killers in the soul community. And a lot of it comes from the bad food we eat, but it also comes from the stress from daily living under racism and our general interaction with our families and other people of soul that can be stressful. Y'all know what I'm saying. What do I want to get off my chest? I want to say this. What brings me to this topic is that, as many of you know, I come from the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I was a member under the guidance of Louis Farrakhan when I was a teenager, and I have relatives right now who are followers of Louis Farrakhan. What makes me so angry this morning is that most of my family members now, they are old and retired, and they are now living on fixed incomes and whatever. And I watch them. Now listen to me. See, this is what makes me angry. I watch them struggle with their bills, and they say, I don't have enough money to do this. I wish I had the money to do that. What gets me angry as fire, what really grinds my gears is the fact that my relatives gave this man, Louis Farrakhan, thousands. I'm not talking about $1,000. Thousands of dollars. They paid this man $1,000 just to sit at the table and eat with this man. Let me tell you something about me. First of all, I was never a follower of Louis Farrakhan. I was recruited to assist you in trying to bring back the old teachings of Elijah Muhammad, something that you did not do and had no intent to do. And when I began to see all this, it was time for me to go. I never was a follower of Louis Farrakhan. I didn't know who Louis Farrakhan was until the 1980s. I wanted to follow Elijah Muhammad. I had no intent to follow Louis Farrakhan, but my relatives, they follow and view Louis Farrakhan as some kind of God and Savior. I never viewed Louis Farrakhan as some God and Savior. And one thing I was smart enough to never do, I gave a little charity, but I'm not going to support Louis Farrakhan, his family, his children, grandchildren, and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to do that. It pisses me off because I have relatives, they are retired, they struggling with their bills, I don't have money to do this. You gave this man thousands and thousands of dollars. If you had saved and kept some of that for yourself, if not all of it for yourself, you would be much better off. But you so infatuated with this man. You so in love with this man. This man gonna do this and do that. What did you? You have been giving this man thousands of dollars since the 1980s. They have nothing to show for it. The teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad tell us that we are supposed to do for ourselves. So you tell me what Minister Farrakhan has done for himself except beg you and me for donations to take care of him. Is begging doing for yourself? If begging is a part of doing for self, I can do that easily. So what? Anybody can beg. That's doing for, actually, begging is doing for yourself. And Louis Farrakhan has become a millionaire, and according to my research, Louis Farrakhan is worth at least almost $4 million being a good beggar. Because my family members and other people right now to this day give this man begging, a parasite of the black community, because I did not benefit, my relatives did not benefit from nothing he done. My community has benefit nothing from anything he has done. You keep talking about, oh, we got a farm. My relatives have not ate not one watermelon, one squash. They have gotten nothing from the Nation of Islam. Not even a free bean pie. Nothing at all. Now they sit around and look stupid juggling their bills because now they're on a fixed income. There's an old saying, if you see a fool, knock his head. And that's what Louis Farrakhan has done. Talking about do for yourself. What does his family do? What does his wife do for a living? His daughters, his sons, grandchildren, all the people that's around him that you see all the time. Y'all taking care of all these people. And what are you getting back in return? Absolutely nothing except some pretty speeches. Justice or else what? Or else Louis Farrakhan would be homeless. That's the or else. There is nothing you have gotten. Oh, he taught me how to eat to live. He taught me I was a drunk in the street and whatever. So you owe this man your life because he taught you how to eat to live because you was drinking and smoking and now you don't. So you owe this man and you need to take care of his family and his friends for the rest of their lives. So now, there's nothing I can do about it. But my relatives look so, they sound and look so pathetic and pitiful. They don't have the money they used to have to give to this man. Louis Farrakhan said in a speech, I'm the freest man on the planet. My followers take good care of me. They take good care of his wife, his children, the dog and the cat, and all the roaches in the house too. And y'all actually go for this. I don't understand the mind. You keep talking about, I'm a free black man. If you're a free black man, if you're a free soul sister and a free soul brother, y'all still behaving, why are y'all still acting and behaving just like slaves? That's all I see is a bunch of slaves. Black slaves, following massa. Your massa is no longer a pink man. Now your massa is this fella. He's divine. Divine to do what? There is supposed to be a benefit in any relationship. When a man and woman gives a benefit to the woman, there's a benefit to the man. If there is no benefit to the woman, if there's no benefit to the man in this relationship, somebody is a slave. In nature, you see the ant and this little honeydew, and there's a relationship between them, but there's a benefit. The ant protects the honeydew beetle, and the honeydew beetle gives something like a milk to the ant. There's a benefit to the ant. There's a benefit to this aphid beetle, whatever the hell it is. There is supposed to be a benefit. If I'm supposed to be good or whatever, obey God, the benefit is I go to heaven. There's a benefit. What is the benefit of you giving this man thousands and thousands of dollars? Now you on a fixed income and talking about, I wish I had the money to do this. I wish I had. You had the money. You gave it away because some fool knocked your head. Then you want to try to get angry at somebody like me because I'm going to talk about it. And you feel like a damn fool, and you should feel like a damn fool, and you look like a damn fool. Because somebody has made a fool out of you. They live in the good life. And you run around wondering how you're going to pay your electric bill, your gas bill. Put oil in your car, whatever. Oh, I don't get it. This ministry does not represent that. If you supported me the way y'all done do Louis Farrakhan, I guarantee you, all of you who do the work, all of you who really are sincere and support this ministry, if I lose, if I have, you will have. If you can't have it, I don't want it. That's my philosophy. I'm not going to run around talking about I'm the freest man in the world. No, I'm going to be saying we all are free in this world. That's my mentality. If you want that other mentality, so be it. There's nothing I can do about it. Y'all grown folks. You do what you want to. But I know coming here is the best option. Because right here, I really want what I want for my brother, I want for myself. If I have a red shirt, I want you to have one. If I have $5 in my pocket, you don't have $5, I want you to have $5 in your pocket for real. And I'm not going to sleep good at night till you get $5 in your pocket. I'm not going to run around in the public talking about, look at this $5 I got. And all my brothers and sisters, y'all are lacking. Struggling. No, that's not how it works. And that's not how the real teaching, if you study the teachings, that's not how it's supposed to work. But people become corrupt. They become materialistic. You become their slave. And they really believe the hype that they are divine and get caught up in all this celebrity garbage. I'm interested in team members. I'm not interested in followers. I'm not trying to convert you to nothing. I want us all to be liberated and free from an oppressor. I want us to be soul brothers and sisters. I want you to be given life. Life is not a fancy car. Life is not these material things, celebrity and fame. Life is the love of life, the respect of life. Loving the fact that I'm surrounded by love, brothers and sisters of soul. Because you are the essence of life. Y'all need to stop following these deceivers, these charismatic charlatans, because that's what they are. But if you don't want nothing, and you are satisfied with nothing, then, well, enjoy yourself.
The Nation of Islam to secure him for a second. But see, that didn't even last long. And I knew it wasn't going to last long because religion is biased against the woman. You're nothing but somebody to breed with, somebody to raise children with. You're not seen as a higher form. And you go for it. You don't see nothing better for yourself. You don't see yourself really as a goddess. You see the male as a goddess, but you second to him. You don't really see yourself as an equal. In Islam, the women, I'm just fine with putting a mask over my face and running around in a garbage sack because I want to be modest, and you like that because you want to be faithful to your religion, and your religion is dominated by men, wrote by men. So of course, now why should you, women, females, why you gotta dress all modestly and cover your face? Because these men can't control themselves. But the men don't have to do nothing. They don't have to cover their face. They don't have to go through all that drama. Only for you, because the men control the religion, the men who wrote the religion, not God. Allah ain't wrote nothing. Jesus have not wrote nothing here. All this is designed and made by men and males. But y'all give y'all money. Everything else is equal. You give your money, your time, and you work hard. All that is equal. When it comes to the prophets of God, when you talk about prophets, there are female prophets, but they don't have nothing worthy of talking about. It's always about what Moses said, always about what Jesus said, always about what Noah said, always about what Peter said. Women don't have nothing to offer. How can you like that? Because you've been tricked and you've been deceived. The only difference between you and a man, that the man has a penis and you have a vagina, and the penis came from out of the vagina. The penis is nothing but a primitive form of vagina. It's an offshoot of the female. You don't give yourself credit. And so since they say that, oh yeah, before I forget, in Christian teachings, of course, you know Eve is the troublemaker. She's not a full human being. She's the rib of a man. That's all y'all is in Christianity. You're not even a full human being. You was made out of some sucker's rib. An idiot sucker that caused the downfall of humanity. And then he don't take responsibility like he should. He blame you because y'all ate some fruit and got tricked by a snake. Y'all that dumb. Women run from snakes. Women don't like little creatures like that. What woman you know of like creatures, worms and snakes and little ickety creatures? Y'all are into that. Men play with snakes. Then after the man play with the snakes, y'all might get brave enough. Wow, that creature's not as dangerous as I thought. Then y'all might play with snakes. Y'all know women is squeamish. You don't like playing with stuff like that. In the Nation of Islam, we was taught that 75% of the problem of our sojourn in America is with the black woman, because the black woman is the teacher, the first teacher of the babies and all this. Nonsense. It's nonsense. The woman is the first teacher. because she gave us the baby. But the man can be there. He can teach just as well as the woman can. But you put all of the burden. The woman is the first teacher. So if the babies go bad, it's the woman's fault. What about the men? See, the men never get no blame. It's all 75% of the problem is on the woman. And so the men don't have to do a damn thing. But see, if the men were men like they're supposed to, then the woman could be stronger. Things will be better. It's the men who really got the problem. They don't spend time with the children. They don't love the woman like they should. But nobody wants to bring no subject up. It's all about the women. All about the women. Sisters, rethink, reevaluate your religious belief system, how you look at religion. Do you think God really wants you to be number 2? This is not no equal relationship. And then look at men in charge. They are the dominant force. Look at your condition since men been in charge. Nothing but fighting, arguing, killing, murder. Because they can't produce life. See, if you was in charge, women, females, since you bring into life and you care about life, then you have a different outlook on things. But see, these males, macho. All they think about is solving problems with a gun and killing and fighting and fussing. Because they got to show that they macho. And they still a bunch of sissies. They still ain't incompetent. They ain't got it going on. My time is out. Rethink your position on your religious beliefs. Don't be number 2. Don't walk behind him. You just as great as any man, if not better. In fact, really, you closer to the God than he ever will be. You are the womb. You are the connection to the universe, not the male. He's your helpmate, not vice versa. Jot down your comments. Peace out, y'all. Time is up.